very quickly here, the last section, very new section here, the Wealth Management Edge, doesn't have as much to do with business valuation, but I think in the time that we've done valuations, what we've learned from the people that we've done valuations for is we get a lot of raving fans, but when we ask them, what are you raving about? They're not raving about the valuation, they're raving about the consultation that came with it. And so that's why I labeled this presentation business valuation, but told you how to use valuation to do a lot of things, because people get valuations to solve some sort of financial problem that they've got or some sort of challenge that they're trying to come. They want to exit their business, they want a buy-sell agreement. You know, we had one guy fired his son-in-law and needed to pay his daughter for her shares of the stock and wanted to know fair value. You know, there's usually they're trying to do something with the valuation. You don't just get a valuation because you want to know usually. You get a valuation because you're trying to do something with it. So when we started listening to what people were telling us why our valuations were so good, what we heard was, it's the feedback or the insight that you shared with me when you gave me my valuation. And so, again, there's information in this last section that pertains to that for you. What is wealth management? You know, I say the last thing that business owners use a wealth management process. And if you look it up in the dictionary, you will see that it's defined as investment management plus advanced planning plus relationship management. Actually, wealth management is defined as an investment advisory discipline that incorporates financial planning. A lot of investment advisors don't do advanced financial planning, but we also consider it to be relationship management as one of the functions, and I'm going to explain what that means here shortly. Advanced planning is wealth enhancement, wealth protection, wealth transfer, charitable giving. Okay, what I've done for you today is I've shown you a lot of the advanced planning topics that are important to business owners. If you ask what a business owner's financial challenges are, what are their advanced planning needs? They're almost always in the area of business valuation, succession planning, investments outside their business, financial security, things along those lines. Those are the advanced planning topics. Relationship management, I don't know of any business owner, most business owners have a lawyer, an accountant, investment advisor, probably don't have a valuation analyst or an exit planner, but they have an insurance advisor. So you're managing the relationships. Most business owners are their family's wealth manager. You're managing that relationship. You're doing the advanced financial planning. You've hired an investment consultant, but they're focused on your stocks. You're meeting with the attorney. You're the one worrying about how you're going to exit your business. You're the one handling all those topics, and you're wondering, a lot of people tell me they're wondering, you know, how they can overcome those challenges. So you're managing those relationships and those financial challenges. When we look at, so the three pieces, relationship management, now we talk about investment consulting. I could stand up here and talk stock market investment consulting. Everybody's heard that a million times. Tune out the noise, create a roadmap, leverage diversification, you know, it's all the typical stuff. This is good, solid. You know, when you talk about managing investments for financial security, if you use, there are some very good principles out there. You can control your exposure to market risk very easily and do some really smart things with your investments. But business owner investment management, I think of differently. Investment advisor thinks, okay, your asset allocation is a percentage of stocks in your portfolio to the percentage of bonds. For a business owner, I think of it as a percentage of your assets that are for risk-taking versus a percentage of your assets for financial security. And I think if you did this exercise with your assets, you might look at your investment allocation a little bit differently. Potentially, the proper asset allocation of the stock market portfolio requires that you design the liquid part, all the stock market, the things you can manipulate. I can go equities or I can go bonds. I can go really safe or I can go really risky. Okay? If you do it this way and you fill the gap, you basically decide how much in bonds you're going to get so that you can get the percentage of risk taking to financial security the way you want. You might end up like the one fellow in there that had a substantial portion in cash and bonds because he already had enough risk taking with his business. So that's my attempt of saying I don't think you should look at your investments in the stock market in a vacuum. I think you can't look at them isolated. I think you have to look at your total asset, your total wealth picture. Advanced planning for business owners basically Understand business valuation, use tax strategies to build your wealth, develop investments outside your business, stay informed about exit and succession planning, use a wealth management approach. You're your own wealth manager. I think I've given you pretty much everything you need, at least to get some insights into the things you might want to do with your plan. If I haven't touched on one thing, I would guess that everybody in this, that most people in this room, that I've touched on one thing that might be something that they're working on in their plan. I'm convinced that anybody can join the 2% Club if they can execute these 5 strategies. The next steps, I mean, people like, what are the next steps? How do I go about this? I think the first starting point is to confront your key financial challenges, and I think you got to ask yourself these 5 questions. Do you know the value of your business and how to make it worth more? Are you using all available tax strategies to build your wealth while minimizing your taxes? Do you know how much wealth you need to develop outside your business? Do you know how you will exit and how you get paid its value? And do you know how to enhance, protect, and transfer or gift your wealth to meet your goals? I mean, if you ask yourself those questions and if you can answer yes to all 5 of those, you're pretty special, because I haven't met a lot of people that can, really. But work on your biggest one. I'm convinced if you can execute, if you can answer all 5 of these, that you can be a highly successful business owner. As a wealth manager option, if you go out to hire a wealth manager in the marketplace, you see lots of people, I see Dane Rauscher Wealth Management, Merrill Lynch Wealth Management, all these. There's lots of wealth managers out there. I think that a lot of them don't actually do advanced planning, and so they're not really executing it the way I understand it. But a wealth manager, if you hire one, should have a specialized expertise in the advanced planning needs of whatever niche they're working in. I'm in a group of advisors, actually, and we're in conjunction with that group, we're putting out a book about wealth management here in a couple of months. Send somebody anybody a copy of that if they want one. But in that group of other wealth managers that I'm in, there are wealth managers in there that specialize in divorced women, Microsoft executives, pastors, and clergy. One guy specializes in NASCAR teams. He actually owns part of one of the NASCAR teams. There's a physician that actually left his medical practice to become a wealth manager for physicians. There's one guy that specializes down in Florida in funeral homeowners. But they generally have some type of a niche. Ours, of course, is what you saw here today, Main Street business owners. I'm just going to close up here right after this slide, but I'm doing this presentation again in January, and I included a registration form in your handouts. If you know anybody that you think might benefit from this and you wanted to pass it on, I thought you might give them that registration. I'd also like to introduce you to something we're doing on our website. This is the introduction on our website. Jointhe2percent.com, and you're going to see a series of videos coming out over the next couple of months as an alternative to actually attending a presentation. Somebody you might, if there's somebody you think might benefit from this. So we're going to put that up on our website, and a lot of the material that you saw here today will be on our website for view in that sort of a format. It's a great way for us to service out-of-town folks. We've got some clients in Texas and Kansas and et cetera, like you saw. And so we found that it really, I think, gives us the ability to share some of this information with those people without having them have to come and be present. So I want to thank you, everybody, for coming today. I'm going to stick around for as long as anybody cares to talk, and I hope you enjoyed it.